Hey everyone, Ruben here, Kindred Dog PDX. This here is the question of the day, number 15. So here we go. Hello, we recently adopted a 7-year-old dog. She is very friendly to humans when she is on a leash. She is friendly to other dogs when she is off the leash. She seems to be fearful when she is on a leash, and she reacts aggressively to other dogs. While she has not got into a dog fight because she was on a leash, she definitely shows aggression and has tried to attack a dog. She panics when she sees other dogs while in the car or in the house. Otherwise, she is near perfect at home, never chews on anything. She listens to basic commands very well. She gets along with my friend's dog. She can walk on a leash with her friends. She seems to be fine as long as she knows the dog. I have let her off leash at the beach with a few dogs. She did well, except she's about 80% on voice command. I would like her to be able to greet other dogs or ignore other dogs while on leash and not panic when she sees other dogs in a house or in a car. Okay, so great questions, and I think this definitely brings up a few points. So first off, at the bottom here you say, I would like her to be able to greet other dogs or ignore other dogs while on leash. So, ignoring other dogs while on a leash? Yes. Meeting other dogs on a leash? No. We don't like that because dogs are trapped. You know, they can't move around freely, so they could get tangled up. There could be a fight. The other thing is, like, you don't know the other dog. You know, everyone's dog is always friendly until they aren't. And it could be your dog that figures that out, or you and your dog learn about that, and then there's a whole other fallout that can happen from a very bad on-leash greeting. The dog can become more distrustful of other dogs, not trust in your ability to lead them and guide them and keep them safe, which can just exacerbate already, it would exacerbate even these issues that are already occurring. So we don't ever recommend folks meet dogs on a leash, okay? Another point to that is, like, we also want to know the dogs that our dogs are hanging out with. Again, kind of going back to what I said before, everyone's dog is friendly until it isn't. And most of the time, from my experience, a lot of people do not have high levels of control over their dog. So if something was to go wrong, can they recall their dog? Can you recall your dog? It says you got an 80%. So it's like if she's playing, you probably maybe can't get her out of that. That stuff is problematic, okay? So we definitely would want to clean that up and make sure that she comes when you call her every time, and at the very least you give her one reminder and she comes, okay? You say she is almost near perfect at home, never chews on anything, listens to basic commands very well. She gets along with her friend's dog, so that's cool. It looks like she's got some dog friends. That's more important than meeting a bunch of dogs. Quality over quantity, okay? That is the main thing there, okay? She seems fine as long as she knows the dog. Yeah, it's like dog reactivity isn't going to be solved by meeting other dogs. Sometimes we get dogs in here who go to the dog park all the time, and they're still reactive on leash. It's because maybe they're having frustration because they can't go say hi to the dog, because every time they see a dog, they play with them, So just because she might have dog friends doesn't mean she's not going to be reactive to those things. So a couple of those things could probably be shored up with just no more on-leash greetings, okay? And then it would also be looking at, like, okay, what is she like inside the house? Never chews on anything. Like, that's all, that's great. I'm glad she doesn't get into things, but that's all stuff that is on the surface. That's like surface level things. And a lot of the times our dogs could still be suffering, but it's internally, like if you say she panics when she sees other dogs while she's in the car or in the house. So if she's looking out the window and she sees a dog walk by and she starts reacting to it, that's definitely an impulse control issue and a too much freedom in the house issue. Okay, so we're going to be wanting to definitely start teaching some of our foundational principles, right? Like getting her on place command, teaching her impulse control, because reactivity is a lack of impulse control. So the more we can get that dialed in, the more leverage we have for when we are outside of the house. Okay, we're also going to be wanting to correct any of that barking that's happening when she's inside the house looking at a dog, or she's in a car and she sees a dog outside of the car. She should be in a down for those things, so she's not allowed to practice exploding on a dog, because when she is able to explode on the dog, that feels good to her and she's getting rewarded for doing that. So we need to block those things. Okay, in order to do that, we need to teach her what we want. You say she knows basic commands very well, so when she's in the car, have her in a down. But you also need some way to follow through with that if she gets up from her down. That's where remote collar training would come in handy. She's in a down in the back, she gets up, nope, down, all from the remote up front. So you can hold her accountable in the back seat so that she doesn't get reactive to dogs. Okay, all of that too is going to be just telling her that you have things under control and she doesn't have to worry about it. A dog who's getting reactive feels that they need to get reactive, whether it's fear-based, what have you. They're saying, I can't trust in you to guide me through this. So we definitely need to work on shoring up that part of the relationship. Okay, and a lot of that comes through rules, structure, boundaries, limitations, consequences for poor choices. All of those things facilitate a relationship between us and the dogs that I got your back. Okay, I'm going to advocate for you and you can trust me. Okay, she's definitely showed aggression, has tried to attack a dog. So are you trying to walk side by side to these dogs that are coming next to you? Maybe create some space. That's something that we always recommend, is create space, and as time goes on, you can start to close that distance, so to speak. Okay, but you should also be walking your dog on the proper tools. We recommend definitely the prong collar, because it gives you good directionality of the head. If she's looking at a dog over here, we can apply some leash pressure in this direction, get her head to move away from that dog. If she's on a harness, she can just look at that dog the whole time as we try pulling her away. If she's on her flat buckle collar, same thing. She can just look, and we're just pulling and tugging and nothing's going on. We want to use minimal pressure, and a harness, a flat buckle collar, all of those things take a lot of pressure to get the dog to move away. So you're going to want to shore those things up. Let's see. Yeah, fearful on a leash. I think just working on those things, getting her in a good position next to you is going to be key in, I think, solving this. Stopping the on-leash greetings, and getting her commands to be better. You said she's 80% at the beach, so it's 80% when she's excited over things. You definitely want to have a high level of control when she is in an excited state of mind. So I think that's about all we have for number 15. As always, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Instagram and Facebook, and get notified of these updates. And we will talk to you next time. Bye.